So, post-launch content and TDUSC. This is something that is probably in discussion at KT and the con at this moment. And if not, I'm sure it's a conversation that will be happening very soon before launch. And that's why I want to talk about it now, because this game has incredible potential, but even more so after release. And I'm going to go over in today's video why I think that is. Let's go. Now, as we know, the TDU DNA, plain and simple, is a combination of lifestyle and racing elements. Combined, this created the franchise we all know and love today, from TDU1 to TDU2, and now finally Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Except this time around, we have a publisher who is in a much better financial condition, so the chances for good post-launch content and launch support are pretty much very well on our side. The thing is though, it can run a lot deeper compared to the last TDU games than ever before, and could have a shot at beating the crew in terms of post-launch content, and here's why. So I mentioned earlier, TDU is a blend of lifestyle and racing, and some of the many confirmed social features so far are casinos, nightclubs, rooftops, clan HQs, the solar hotel, dealerships, and more, I'm sure. With that being said, TDU has the opportunity to not only expand in the racing sector with more vehicles, races, or missions, but now with new points of interest in the social aspect. I mean, new dealerships, new purchasable houses, and I'm saying that with full copium, thoughts and prayers that houses are going to make its way in TDSC, because so far they haven't officially been confirmed yet outside of the solar hotel. But if you do recall that in this screenshot here up on the screen, there is a kind of hint that looks like a TDU1 logo of real estate agency, and in fact even the sign translates to real estate agency. I mean, what more could we even ask for? Please, KT, if you're watching this, real estate houses, bro. Everyone is asking for it. But anyways, let's continue. Now, considering it also means that POIs, aka points of interest, that have never been in the game before or in any TDU franchise before, could be added later. For example, a car detailing place. I'm sure you guys have heard of something like Ceramic Pro. Imagine if we could actually get our car, bring it into the shop, have it on this rotating table, and actually get it detailed instead of having a car wash. That would be insane. Or maybe they add more different styles of it. There's so many ideas that you can actually implement into this lifestyle racing game. It's incredible. But even, for example, a convention center, which is actually on the island, but imagine if they decide to add another one where you can have a massive car meet of 50 cars, 100 cars. I don't know how many you can really have on a server, but I mean, imagine if you could have this massive car show online with many other players, bro. Stuff like that can really be expanded in TDU. Now, I get it though. You're probably thinking, Alex, this is stupid and KT won't do it, but I disagree. And that's because it's actually what Alan Janu wanted to do at Eden Games, and not doing a car meet, but what he actually wanted to do was implement and expand the map with new points of interest. And let's get into that in detail. Now, if you've seen my channel for a while, I've covered a lot about TDU2's concepts and secrets. So this might not be new, but there were a ton of plans to have a really good TDU2 post-launch content before it went down under from, you know, Atari. I mean, for starters, you had the vehicle-based ideas such as the Rally DLC and Track DLC, both of which would add numerous vehicles to the game under its set theme. Now, we actually did get a DLC that's kind of like that, but it was actually centered around bikes, and that came with a new bike dealership. Though it was happily teased in-game prior with an under construction building sign. I'll probably pop that up on the screen right now for you if you don't remember it, but I think it's pretty cool, and we could maybe see stuff like this in TDUSC, having unfinished buildings as a construction site that is added later as a DLC. There are so many things that KT could do here. But this is actually why I think Alan Janu at KT working on TDUSC after previously working on not only TDU1 but TDU2 as well is a pretty great idea. I mean, he's had the DNA formulated in his brain, so deviating away from it won't exactly be an easy task to begin with, and many of the ideas that didn't make it into TDU2 could find its way into TDUSC, and a very key example of this is actually nightclubs, since it was actually in Test Drive Unlimited 2. However, it was scrapped early in development. Now, this is a feature I predicted to be in TDUSC, and lo and behold, it made it. And I may be wrong, but I think nightclubs was actually an idea that Alan Janu had himself. Along with that, there was an image that I'll go over in more detail in another future TD2 concept art video. But as you can see, there was an idea for a tattoo shop, a watch shop, so things like this could be making its way into TDSC post-launch. I mean, would you guys want to see a tattoo shop? And hold on, I know you're gonna say, Alex, why the hell would a racing game need to have a tattoo shop? Well, stop right there. Remember, this isn't just racing game, guys. This isn't just Forza Horizon. This isn't just the crew This isn't just Need for Speed, this is TDU, and the whole lifestyle aspect as well as the racing aspect combined into one actually created it. So these lifestyle features do belong in TDU. Not to mention, this is kind of like your GTA online game, guys, just without the entire, you know, assholes that try to shoot you with missiles and flying cars and all other BS. This is a lot more mature, I'd like to say. Let's talk about what I want to see from TDUSC post-launch. Now, the Crew 2 has set the standard in how open world racing games should be post-launch. I mean, the game's been out for like, what, 5 years, and every tower it has still given the game constant updates, guys. Not with just vehicles though, like graphic updates, features, races, events, and so much more. I'm sure I could go on, honestly, but there is a ton of new things that they have added. And in a day and age where games like Forza Horizon 5 have been lacking behind post-launch, I hope it's something we don't see from Kiloton to follow that route. I really hope they go on the more ivory tower route and really carry out the length of this game and its life, especially since TDU has more potential than any other game to carry post-launch content with its combination of lifestyle and racing. I mean, I've split a few of my ideas of what I'd like to see post-launch into a few themes, some of which are cars. So I think this is a no-brainer, but having cars added post-launch is a must. In fact, not even a must, guys, it is a need. It's kind of obvious we're going to see it. Now, I do think it's possible we can even see themed DLC packs, just like it was in TD2 with the rally, bike, and track car DLC, as well as also having individual cars as DLC. But I do want to ask you guys, as the community, what do you think is a fair price for DLC? I mean, let's be honest, TDUSC is not going to have free DLC for its entire life. Let's be straight up, let's be honest. They're gonna have to pay for some things, and there probably are going to be some paid vehicles in the game. So what do you guys actually think is fair? Now, I do want to mention though, I do hope that one feature that is kept in TDUSC, just like TDU2, is that when you actually purchase these vehicles with IRL currency as DLC, you still had to purchase it in-game with your in-game currency at full price. Solely because, I mean, it just makes sense. Like, we're not here for no pay to win BS. We're not here so you can jumpstart the game. This is TDU. I'd like to see everyone work for this stuff. That's why you used to drive on the road, look at someone who drove next to you and be like, yo, is that the Gumper, the Polo? How'd you get that? Level 4 club? That's cool. You must have worked for that. Or even like, yo, is that the Ferrari F40? Damn, you really must have worked for that to afford it. Like, stuff like that is why I like TDU. That whole aspect of even seeing someone else's car and being like, yo, you worked hard for that is an crazy feature, guys. And it actually goes a long way. Even yourself when you bought the car of your dreams. I mean, don't forget, you can even ride in the car of your dreams. If someone else had your car that you always wanted, you could actually flash your high beams at them and request to ride passenger seat in the... Come on, KT, bro. There is so much potential of this game. I really hope KT nails this because we have a huge gem on our hands. Now, another thing I want to see post-launch is points of interest. Now, I've gone over this earlier, but let's talk about it more in depth. Now, it's clear we aren't going to get any new map areas outside of Hong Kong, but that's okay. Just like TD2, Kiloton can expand the map from within, adding new points of interest, such as the tattoo shops, car detailing areas, car picture booths, dealerships, houses, more nightclubs, casinos, rooftops, HQs, and honestly, guys, so much more. I mean, you can let your imagination run wild. Let me know if some you even think of in the comments below. But another thing I want to touch on just really quickly is the map. I know a lot of you guys say Hong Kong Island is small and, you know, whatever. Some of you guys will never change. You're never gonna look past it. There is one thing that could be saved, and I can't really take a guess on it or even cover it like fully until the game releases, but Raceward is developing the new Isle of Man TT3 Ride to the Edge game. Now, maybe KT does have quite a large amount of assets covering Isle of Man. I mean, the website does say they have a 10 by 20 kilometer square asset of Isle of Man. Granted, they could be overestimating, they could be underestimating, but 10 by 20 is actually a decent amount of land. And I'm sure the number has increased, especially since the new Isle of Man TT that's being developed is going to have more than 200 kilometers of drivable road in free roam. And it's going to be around the Isle of Man, which I don't think has actually been done before. So if it's possible, maybe. Don't even bother thinking about it though, but maybe, very so maybe, you could see a map DLC, but I don't see that happening. It could probably more so be in a TDUSC sequel than a TDUSC game as DLC, in all honesty. But moving on though, races, I think this is an obvious one, but adding new events, maybe even a new Solo Crown event story, or even a new clan and mission story. and more could work very well with this game too. I'm sure there are many other ideas, but let me know what you guys think. Honestly, as long as Kiloton make this game their game, I think we're gonna have a very successful post-launch content drop, and I'm excited to see what KT are going to show us throughout the year, especially in the summer and onwards. So if you joined this video, I recommend you check out my developer interview with none other than TDUSC's game director earlier. I think that was just last week. Pop up on the screen too, this side. But yeah, other than that, you guys already know what it is. I'm Max7 and I'm out. Peace.